Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel, The College Process once again. I'm Ed from Principia Prep, and today we're going to be going over 15 reasons why a safety college may be the best college for you. But before we begin, if you are new to the channel and are looking for additional college content, please hit the subscription button down below. It will notify you when new videos do come out, as well as if you have any questions in today's video or any of the videos here we have on the channel. Once again, as many of you already know, put your questions down below in the comment section, and then every Friday I make a video answering all your questions and put it back on YouTube in video format with detailed answers to all the questions you guys have, so that way everyone gets their answers out there. As well as we are continuing to run the James Russo Memorial Scholarship, so if you do have students out there going off to college, please make sure in the description down below is a link to watch our video here. It does explain how our organization works as far as giving out scholarship money. And with that being said, let's jump right into today's video. 15 reasons why a safety college may be the best college for you. Now you might be sitting there wondering, well Ed, shouldn't we be trying to reach out and try to get to the hardest school possible, or dream school, or reach school, or at least utilize the target schools just in case as a fallback, or maybe the places we want to go to the most, rather than looking at the safety schools because they're easier option to get into? And the reality is, for some of you out there, yes, going out and trying to get into the hardest schools or trying to get into your target schools will make a lot of sense, to be honest with you. But the reality is, outside of the top 10% of schools out there, and I mean the top 10%, I mean the most difficult schools to get into, the Ivies, the high-level private schools, so on and so forth, outside of that 10% of really difficult schools to get into, pretty much every college, to be honest with you, is exactly the same. There's really very little difference between a school that's ranked 50th in a category as far as major or school choice or public or private college, etc., versus a school that's ranked 80th or 90th or 100th, to be honest with you. So the reality is, outside of the top tier, let's call it, schools, pretty much all the colleges out there are almost the same. So why not look at the safety schools in more of a perspective of the fallback, just in case everything falls apart situation, or not just from the admission side, but also from the financial side of maybe we can't afford the schools we want to go off to, we have to go to the safety schools. Rather than looking at it just from that perspective of kind of like the backup situation, let's look at safety schools from a holistic point of view, all the way around, all the different benefits that a lot of these safety schools are offering the students out there considering them. And in today's video, I'm going to go through 15 different reasons to consider safety schools and all the benefits they offer to you guys. This is going to cover both financial aspects, admissions aspects, career aspects, and a bunch of other topics here. So I'm going to go through all 15 of them. If you are looking at safety schools and you might be wondering, well, what will other people think, or am I making the wrong decision? I suggest you watching this entire video to give yourself all the different aspects of why safety schools in some cases are actually the best choice for you guys. So right at the bat of the 15, the number one thing to look at, the benefit of the safety school, is you're going to get in. The reality is, this is a safety school for you. So it relieves that stress of wondering, the application's been sent out, the essay's been sent out, my test score's been sent out, I've done everything I could, interviews, demonstrated interest, visiting the campus, so on and so forth. Am I going to get in? The answer is you already know you're going to get in. So the stress level obviously comes down a ton because of the fact that right at the bat, you're not worried about getting in. You're going to get in because it's your safety school. And keeping with the theme of admissions here, essentially, the second reason to consider a safety school is because of the fact that many of them don't have supplemental essays. What you're going to notice is the harder the school is to get into, in many cases, good, bad, or indifferent, the more supplemental essays they add on top of the main essay you have to do anyway. So one of the benefits, I know it's not a big benefit obviously, but it is helpful for students out there, is you don't have to write another essay. Many safety schools do not require additional essays whatsoever. You get the main essay out of the way, you got that done, you're pretty much done with the application. And also, once again, keeping with the theme of admissions here, the third thing to consider for many safety schools is many of them out there are either SAT, ACT optional, which means you don't need a test score in place, or their score requirements are so low. So once again, this is helping out on the admission side, but it's also helping out on the stress level side. Knowing that you're going to get in relieves stress. Knowing that you don't have to write another essay relieves stress. Knowing your test scores are not a big factor of you going to college or not also relieves stress. And then kind of keeping with the same theme here, the benefit of a safety school is, the fourth thing to consider here, is the ease in which you're going to senior year as far as your class schedule. Now, I've been doing this 25 years here, so I've seen a lot of students that have to add a ton of rigor to their schedule in senior year. They got to do a bunch of APs, a bunch of dual credit courses, some IB courses. Maybe they even took a college course over the summer. Maybe they're going to take another college course over the winter break. Because they have to add all that rigor to their schedule, and essentially, once again, more stress because of the fact that they have to keep the rigor of their schedule available and high enough where the high-level schools will look at them as a candidate of acceptance. So the reality is, the safety schools, one of the benefits here is, since you know you're going to get in from the work you've done before, you don't have to overload your senior year. You can actually ease that burden somewhat academically and allow yourself to enjoy senior year of high school before you head out to college. And then the fifth thing to consider here, one of the big benefits of going to a safety school, is you will essentially, in most cases, be a big fish in a small pond. Because essentially being a big fish in a small pond, where a lot of people are kind of against this, I'm not so much against this, especially if you're considering all schools, many schools out there, good, bad, or different, are almost all alike, to be honest with you. So why not go to a school that looks at you as more than just a number in many cases, that looks at you as somebody that they want to bring in, because essentially you are an attraction to that school because of the fact that academically you're so strong that school wants to bring you in. So why wouldn't I want to go to a place where I'm the big fish in a small pond? In some cases, it's nice to be recognized and looked upon, even if you're just a normal student, be average student, and being seen as an asset to them because of the fact that they value you and the things you've done in high school. Obviously, you get to the higher levels, more competitive schools, everyone's got the same thing. Everyone's got the APs, everyone's got perfect test scores, everyone's got 2 or 3 page resumes, everyone's competitive, so on and so forth. In some cases, students don't want that. Some students want to go off the campus and enjoy themselves while they're out of school. Which then brings us to the 6th benefit of looking at your safety school as an option for you to go to, which is essentially reducing the competitiveness of the college. One thing you'll notice that if you're looking at safety schools is the reality the competitive level of academics in some cases will drop down a little bit. And what I mean by that is not that the school is a lesser school than the higher tier school. What I mean is you get higher and higher in the tiers of colleges. Once you get to that Harvard, that Yale, that Stanford level of college, you're really looking at the most competitive academic students in the world. So what that basically means is these students, when they reach the college level, will essentially continue to be that competitive. And that's something that some students like, that's something the students don't like. Some students don't want to go into an entirely competitive environment for the next 4 years and be competing against students every day, every hour, every minute, seeing who's at the library longer, who's at the lab longer, who got the A versus who got the B, so on and so forth. Sometimes students just want to go to college and enjoy the college itself, enjoy all the trappings of the college. Yes, the academics are the main component of it, but you also have networking, finding social groups, finding friends, maybe finding your spouse. All these different things, having fun, socializing, going out, seeing a game, so on and so forth, in a friendly manner. Some of these things are the things that students are looking for, which are more likely to happen if you were looking at safety schools versus a reach or a target school in many cases. And now the 7th benefit of looking at your safety school as an option for you out there is essentially guaranteeing your major. What you're going to notice is as the schools get more and more competitive on the reach, the target side, and then even get more competitive on top of that ranking because of the major you're looking at. Let's say you're looking at something competitive like nursing or occupational therapy, or certain business programs, or certain engineering programs. Some of these schools will basically tell you if you don't get directly into the school based on that major as you're coming as a freshman, you can't transfer in. And a lot of the safety schools will let you choose whatever major you want. So if you go in undecided and you want to be an engineer, they'll let you into the engineering program, as long as you obviously have a high enough academic GPA at that college, or the nursing program, or occupational therapy, and so on and so forth. That doesn't happen all the time, but it's a lot easier if you're looking at a competitive major to be able to go in directly into your major, or to be able to change into your major later on at a safety school than it would be if you're looking at a reach or target school. And then on top of that, the 8th consideration for safety schools is the fact that many schools have free applications. When it comes to most of these colleges, especially the safety schools, many of them will either let you apply to college through admissions for free, or in some cases, many of them also have fee waivers where you basically just get the fee waived for the admissions application, so you're not paying anything. So another benefit of applying and looking at safety schools is they're not charging you anything up front to be able to have the opportunity to be accepted to the university. So it does help out on the financial side here a little bit, because obviously many of you out there applying to colleges realize these applications are no longer cheap. Many of these applications will range from $50 to $90 a piece. And then in keeping with the theme of cost here, the 9th benefit of a safety school is scholarship money. Now what you're going to notice is many of the safety schools, due to the fact that the student going off these schools will be looked upon as a high achieving student in their eyes, someone they want to draw in, they're going to want to entice that student. The way they entice your students to go to those colleges is by offering scholarship money. And the benefit of those, obviously who watch the channel here, scholarship money is the #1 goal of all the people out there when it comes to financial aid, because scholarship money is guaranteed money for 4 years. It allows you to know all 4 years of discounts going forward in the future. And now we're up to number 10. And the 10th reason to consider a safety school is because of lower cost. What you'll notice is, as you get into the reach and target school level of schools, you can see the cost of the schools increase as far as what they're charging you. When you look at many safety schools, thankfully for the safety schools, a lot of them, especially if you're looking in state, will be lower cost basis. So if you're looking at, let's say, a state school at $25,000 to $30,000 in cost for you, let's say versus a target or a reach school at a state public university or college, You're looking at some places a double in cost, anywhere from $50,000 to $60,000 in cost. And obviously you're talking at the more elite colleges, more difficult schools to get into, everything's pretty much starting somewhere between $75,000 to $90,000. So starting price cost-wise for safety schools, the 10th reason why to look at safety schools consideration is the starting price is a lot lower than the target and reach colleges out there. And now let's talk about the 11th reason to consider safety schools. The 11th reason to consider safety schools is because of the fact that most safety schools will accept all your AP, IB, and dual credit courses. So all those rigorous courses you're taking in high school, the ones that are basically college level courses, many of the higher tier schools will not accept as far as college credit, but will require you to take to be able to get into the higher schools. These safety schools you're considering, benefit is they'll give you the college credit. All that work I'm doing in high school, all those rigorous courses I'm taking, why wouldn't I utilize the benefit of that, not just to get me into the college, but to get me into the college and also give me college credit to reduce the amount of time I have to spend in the college, because obviously the less time you have to spend in the college, the less money out of pocket, the less loan money you have to take on every year. And then number 12, we're gonna go back to scholarships again. When it comes to the 12th reason why safety schools should be a consideration in your minds, is because of the fact that you can negotiate. And this is what I mean by negotiate. Let's say you get into a safety school and they give you a very good scholarship, but you know it's not the top end scholarship. You can always go back to the safety school and negotiate with them, because most safety schools, believe it or not, are a lot easier to negotiate with than to target and reach colleges. And keeping with the theme of the admissions financial aid situation here, let's talk about the 13th reason, which is honor colleges. Now when it comes to the safety schools, since your student is very likely the person going into that college, going to be a top tier student for that university, will allow the students, if they want to go into that university or college's honor college within the university. This is a big benefit because honors colleges provide a lot of benefit from a few standpoints. Right off the bat, if you're in the honors college, you typically get preferred scheduling, which means you get to schedule before the rest of your peers. That way you never miss out on a class. You also typically get preferred housing, which means essentially you get the best housing out there available for your grade level. In addition to those benefits, you can also look at honors colleges as a benefit for college itself after you graduate and are looking to go to grad school. If you have honors college as part of your resume, it's going to help you guys out getting into those other colleges you might be considering, or maybe going up in tier for the graduate level. So obviously a safety school would give you an easier chance of getting to that school's honor college. And the 14th reason why to consider safety schools is because of the fact that a lot of them will actually, in some cases, depending on your situation, will give you in-state tuition even if you're an out-of-state resident. Schools that have done this in the past that I've seen are Ohio, Maryland, University of South Carolina is big on this, where if they want you academically before financial aid is even considered, to be honest with you, they'll automatically reduce their price from an out-of-state student to an in-state student if academically you're sound enough and they want you to go there. So obviously being a safety school that wants you to go there is a big benefit if they reduce the price on you guys before any financial aid forms or financial aid consideration. And of course, the last reason, the 15th reason is, outside of the top 10% of schools to get into, the reality is almost every school is the same. So whether the school that you're looking at is ranked 40th or 80th, or the major you're looking at the school is ranked 50th versus 80th, the reality is all the programs are basically the same. There isn't that big of a difference, to be honest with you. So why not consider the safety school if it is starting at a lower price tag, if it's giving you a lot of financial aid possibilities, reducing the stress, and everything else involved? Why not consider the safety school in place of that target or reach school, realizing and knowing at the end of the day, everything is basically the same, so why spend more money? And those are the 15 reasons why I would consider safety schools as more of an option than just basically a backup. Now that being said, if you guys have any questions, put your questions down below in the comment section, and then every Friday I make a video answering all your questions and put it back on YouTube in video format with detailed answers to all the questions you guys have, so that way everyone gets their answers out there. As well as if you do enjoy today's video, please leave us a like, it does help the channel, as well as on the screen my contact information. If you guys need help in the process whatsoever, I do Zoom meetings with parents one-on-one to help out with the financial aid or admissions process. Just feel free to text me. That's the easiest way to reach me. That's actually my cell phone number on the screen, or even just send me an email. Either way, I'll get back to you guys. Other than that, thank you for watching today's video. Once again, my name is Ed from Principia Prep.